You're listening to From Stillness, an audiobook for a mind in need of quiet. Most people move through the world without ever truly being seen. They enter a room and vanish into the background, a faint presence, easily missed. There's no shift in the air, no pause in conversation, no sense that anything or anyone of significance has arrived. Their energy is quiet, but not in a grounded or powerful way, more like a whisper lost in noise. They speak, but few listen. They act, but their actions ripple only faintly, if at all. They're present, yes, but not commanding. It's not that they're disliked or rejected. They're simply overlooked, passed over, forgotten. But then there are the few, the rare ones. The ones who walk into a room and the entire dynamic changes. Heads turn without knowing why. Conversations slow down. Eyes glance and then stay. Even those who've never seen this person before feel something shift inside them. There's an unspoken tension, not fear, not awe, but alertness. Like the room has just registered the arrival of something that matters. And here's the strange part. These individuals don't have to say a word. Their presence alone speaks volumes. There's no shouting, no forced charisma, no theatrical display. Just stillness. Gravity. A quiet kind of power that doesn't beg for attention, it demands it effortlessly. It's easy to label this as natural confidence, or some people are just born that way. But that's a lie we tell ourselves to avoid doing the work. The truth is, this presence isn't magic, it's built. It's cultivated through awareness, control, and subtle choices. The way one moves, breathes, waits. The energy behind silence. The difference between being noticed and being unforgettable doesn't come down to loudness, it comes down to command. And command, as you'll soon see, begins with something far simpler than most imagine. Just one move, done right, can shift how the world sees you, instantly. Whether we acknowledge it or not, society is built on invisible hierarchies. Power flows through every interaction, not in obvious declarations, but in subtle undercurrents. From business meetings to family dinners, from chance encounters to lifelong relationships, people are constantly assessing each other. Who leads? Who follows? Who holds the frame and who submits to it? These judgments aren't made after long conversations or detailed analysis. They happen in seconds. Before you open your mouth, the world has already begun placing you somewhere on its silent ladder. It's a brutal truth that many avoid confronting. The world does not reward weakness. Kindness, yes. Compassion, of course. But weakness, insecurity, hesitation, desperate attempts to prove yourself, that is quietly punished. People may smile, nod, even engage politely, but underneath the surface, the subconscious verdict has already been passed. You're either someone to be respected or someone to be dismissed. And this sorting process is rarely about what you say. It's almost never the words themselves that carry weight. It's how you carry them, the way your voice lands, the space you take up or shrink from, how you move, how you sit, how you hold eye contact. Confidence isn't something you state, it's something you signal, and the signals are everywhere. When you speak too quickly, when your tone rises in question rather than settles with certainty, when you chase approval with every gesture, people feel it. They may not name it, but they respond to it. Society respects strength, not performance. It's not about acting dominant, it's about embodying stability. When you know who you are, when you stop seeking validation, when you speak and move from a place of calm certainty, something shifts. People feel it before they understand it. And just like that, the hierarchy tilts. You rise, not because you asked to, but because everything about you silently declared it. The trap is subtle, and most fall into it without ever noticing. Insecure minds rush. They speak quickly, eager to be heard before they're interrupted. Their sentences pile up, voices pitched slightly higher at the end, not statements, but questions disguised as confidence. Every word they say carries a silent plea. Please listen. Please accept me. Please think I matter. And that desperation, no matter how well hidden, leaks into the room. People may smile, may nod, but deep down, something shifts. You're no longer a presence to be respected, You've become a presence seeking permission. This is how power slips through your fingers, not through mistakes or failures, but through the subtle surrender of energy. When you try too hard to be liked, you give up the very thing that makes others take you seriously. You perform instead of exist. You chase attention instead of commanding it. You fill silence not to build connection, but to escape the discomfort of being unseen. But here's the harsh truth. Those who can't sit with silence will never own the room. Once someone categorizes you as beneath them, socially, professionally, or emotionally, it's nearly impossible to undo. That first impression becomes a silent script they play on repeat every time you're near. You speak, but it's filtered through condescension. You act, but it's interpreted as trying. You might be competent, even brilliant, but if your energy says, "I'm unsure," then that's all they'll see. You've lost before the real conversation even begins, and worst of all, you won't even realize it's happened, only that you keep getting overlooked, no matter how hard you try. There is one move, simple, subtle, and devastatingly effective, that has the power to flip the entire dynamic of how people perceive you. It doesn't require wealth, status, or physical dominance. You don't need to say something clever or deliver the perfect line. In fact, it's not about what you say at all. It's about what you don't say. The secret lies in your ability to pause. The power of pause is the ability to control time in conversation. Weak men fear silence. They treat it like a threat, rushing to fill it with words, jokes, explanations, anything to keep attention from drifting. They talk fast, eager to be heard, anxious not to be forgotten. Their words come not from confidence but from panic, a scrambling attempt to prove they belong. And that energy is loud. It screams insecurity. But those who understand presence, real presence, do the opposite. They let silence work for them. When asked a question, they don't jump to answer. They hold the moment. They meet the gaze, unflinching, grounded. They pause. And in that pause, everything shifts. The room tightens. People lean in. That split second of silence speaks more than any sentence could. It says, "I'm in control. I don't need your approval. I choose when and how I speak." This isn't just a communication technique, it's a psychological weapon, one that's been used by the powerful for centuries. Watch the way great leaders operate. Notice how they rarely rush. Their words are deliberate. Their movements are measured. They don't fill space, they shape it. The pause is their scalpel, cutting through noise, forcing others to adjust their rhythm, to wait, to listen. You might think this is subtle. It is. But it's in the subtle where true power lives. The pause creates contrast. When you do speak, slowly, clearly, with weight, your words hit harder. People stop multitasking. They stop preparing their reply. They listen, because you've shown them without ever saying it that your words matter. And the best part? You can try this immediately. In your next conversation, resist the urge to rush. When someone speaks to you, pause. Breathe. Let the silence stretch just long enough for them to wonder what you're thinking. Then respond, calmly, intentionally. You'll see it in their body language, in their eyes, in the way the room subtly bends toward your pace. That's presence, and it begins the moment you stop filling the silence and start owning it. When you master the pause, you do more than slow down a conversation, you take control of it. It's not just about appearing calm or confident, it's about shifting the psychological balance. In a world where most people rush to be heard, your stillness becomes magnetic. Your restraint stands out. And whether they realize it or not, people begin to adjust themselves to your rhythm. It happens in small, almost invisible ways. You pause, and they fidget. You hold eye contact, and they look away, then back again, unsure why they feel the need to. You speak slowly, and their own speech unconsciously slows to match yours. You've shifted the tempo of the interaction, and with it, the power dynamic. Because when someone controls the pace, they control the frame. This is why the pause is not just a technique, it's a declaration. It says, "I'm not rushing for you. I'm not performing for your approval. I'm comfortable in this moment, and you will meet me here." And people do. Even those who outrank you socially or professionally will feel the shift. Not because you've challenged them aggressively, but because you've made them notice you. You've signaled that you're not afraid to hold space, to sit in silence, to let them wait. Psychologically, it puts them on the back foot. Their subconscious asks, why is he so calm? What does he know that I don't? That curiosity, that moment of imbalance, is where your presence expands. You're no longer reacting to the room is reacting to you. And this effect only amplifies over time. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Soon, you won't just be commanding respect in conversation, you'll be shaping the very atmosphere around you. And all of it begins with a choice to slow down, to hold the moment, and to let others feel the weight of your presence before a single word leaves your lips. Most people will ignore this. They'll hear the advice, nod in agreement, maybe even feel inspired for a moment, and then go straight back to old habits. They'll keep talking fast, filling silence with nervous chatter, seeking validation in every glance. They'll keep showing up hoping to be noticed, trying to impress, trying to belong. But the truth is, nothing changes when you try harder in the wrong direction. They don't realize they're giving away their power every time they speak without control, every time they rush to respond, every time they treat silence like a threat instead of an opportunity. And so, they remain stuck, not because they lack intelligence or talent, but because they never understood presence. They never learned how to hold tension. They never claimed space. And in a world that rewards quiet confidence and punishes desperate energy, that mistake is costly. They'll continue being overlooked in meetings, interrupted in conversations, forgotten in group settings. Not out of cruelty, but because their energy signals one simple message: I am not in control. Meanwhile, those who master the pause begin to rise. Not through noise, not through force, but through something deeper, command. The kind that makes others stop and pay attention. The kind that reshapes how people respond to you, not just once, but every time. It's not a trick, it's a standard. And those who refuse to adopt it will remain background characters in rooms they were meant to lead. At the heart of it all lies a simple but powerful truth. The way you carry yourself shapes how the world responds to you. It's not your words, your title, or your talent that commands instant respect. It's your presence. And presence begins with self-control. In a world addicted to speed, noise, and validation, the ability to pause becomes a quiet revolution. It tells people you're not desperate to be heard, because you already know your voice matters. You're not rushing to fill silence, because you're at ease with your own weight. That kind of calm is rare, and rare things command attention. This is more than just a social skill, it's a mindset. The pause isn't just a tactic for interviews, meetings, or high-stakes conversations. It's a principle you can live by. Every time you slow down before reacting, every time you hold space instead of chasing it, you're retraining your mind to lead, not follow. You're reminding yourself that power is not something given. It's something you embody, moment by moment. Apply this in real life. The next time someone challenges you, don't rush to defend. Pause. Breathe. Hold eye contact. Let your silence say what words can't. When someone interrupts, don't fight for attention. Let your presence reclaim it. And when you enter a room, don't shrink or perform. Simply exist with intention. Because the truth is, those who master themselves don't need to dominate others. Their stillness speaks. Their energy leads. And in a world full of noise, that's the kind of power people never forget.